The burrito lord keeps trying new looks.
Hey! What's up, my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the Toyeasy Titan. So here we are, and there he is, and first and foremost, as always, we'll take a quick look at the packaging. Right up front here we have a lovely image of Titan being all Titany. His name is Titan. On this side we have Titan. On this side we have Titan. Up top, Titan. On the bottom, nothing. On the back, some obligatory product shots. This, that, thing, stuff, the other. And that is basically it for the packaging. Then moving right along, here we have Titan. And this is a totally nondescript character. Despite the color layout, it's totally a nondescript character. Not meant to be anyone we know at all. No. But let's get in close so we can take a look at the details. And there we have the noggin. It's a cool looking head sculpt. I dig it. Got some nice metallic red there for the eyes. The face done gunmetal gray. Oh no. I think that does look pretty cool, but let's be real here. We know what we're doing here. We know why we bought this figure. Let's just do this. In this case, you deserve that. Anyway, we'll pop in the real head here. There we go. That's why we're buying this. It's Meg's. There it is, and that's a lovely Megsy head sculpt there. Nice old bucket head going on. Now that's actually a very good-looking Megatron head sculpt, in my opinion. Nice red there for the eyes. Really pops. I personally quite dig that. And a funny thing we can do here is you can actually take off the helmet. Oh my god, he's bald! He's bald! Anyway, this thing you can do if you want to do it. Okay, but there's the real head sculpt. That's why we're buying this figure. But anyway, let's look at the rest of the body here. This little cannon right here, this little gun right here is a separate piece. It's on a ball joint. You just pop it right in. Well, no. Nice little color layout here. We got some little spots of gold, little spots of red. Of course, you got the red there on the biceps. Big ol' cannon going on here with lots of detail going on. You got some nice gunmetal gray going down the forms. I got some little tampograph details there on the hip skirts. It says Titan, and under it, something else that I cannot read because the type is way too small. You might be able to read it now, but I can't read it with my own eyes here. I can't. It's just no, not happening. But moving down the body here, again, some nice details, some little hits of red, some hits of yellow. My one main gripe with the figure is the legs, because like it starts off real thick and then it gets really thin. Not a fan of that. I wish they had found a way to kind of bulk out the shins a bit more, but it's okay. It is what it is. But there's his toesies. And move up the back. Got some cool little details here. The mega booty. And not much of a backpack going on there. Pretty minimal. We got a little bit of junk kind of hanging off his shoulders, but all in all, it's a pretty clean transformation. Now, articulation-wise, what have we got? I shall inform you of such. So, head's on a ball joint, so you get a little bit of wiggly-waggly. He can look up slightly, he can look down slightly, he can do a full 360. Arms can do a full 360. Just be mindful of all the stuff moving around. You have inward and outward movement, like right at the shoulder itself, and then you have multiple hinges in here you can actually pull out, so you can kind of get some extra range going on. So that's things you can do if you want to do it. You can move these panels up for your elbow joints. So you do have a single jointed elbow. There is a transformation joint in here. If I can lift that up, you can see here. That's more for transformation, but you can use that to get a little bit more range of movement out of him. So that's the thing you can do if you want to do it. You do have bicep rotation. As far as the hands, you have wrist rotation. You do have posable fingies here. The thumb's on a ball joint at the base and a hinge here. And Each individual finger is on a hinge here and a hinge there. So as the extent of your posable fingies, you do have waist rotation. You do have an ab crunch in there as well. You can move these hip skirts out of the way in the butt plates, so the legs can go forward about that far, can go back about that far. Joint's quite snug. Outward, full splits. You got thigh rotation. You do have a double jointed knee, so you have nice range of movement there. As far as the feet, they can rock up, they can rock down. You do have rotation right there with the foot itself. You have ankle tiltage, and you also have a toe joint, although I have a problem with this. I'll talk about this in a little bit, but there you go. Now, as far as accessories go, we get another cannon here. This is more for the tank mode. You can see it's done in that gray. You can see the end of the barrel there, just done in black, make it look just kind of charred and everything. So you get that. We get some effects parts. We get these two effects parts which work together. It's going to end up kind of looking like that. You can see done in a nice transparent orange. So you get that. You also get this very, very tiny little effects part here. That I just dropped. My God. I found it. It's tiny. It's so little, but again, just a little transparent orange, little blast effect. And of course, the other head that we just showed that we're never going to use. But yeah, that is all you get there with Titan. Now, as far as the cannon goes, it just plugs into the slot right here. It just drops down. Would have been nice if you could plug it, you know, onto his back, kind of traditional Meg style, but you know, it is what it is. You can plug that in there like so, and the effect part only works on this cannon, unfortunately. You can't plug it onto this one, but we can use it here. So you plug the base part in first, and then you take this bit and you plug that into the barrel. There you go. We have not a big old one, but we can get some kind of a bloosh. I'll count it. And now Megs is ready to fight for lies, tyranny, and the burrito way. So real quick, I just want to talk about another complaint that I have with this figure, and that is with his toes. So he has toe joints, and here's the thing: like I'm not an articulation nut. I don't need a figure to have 5,000 joints for me to be happy with it. I mean, I do appreciate it when a figure is like super posable, because obviously that increases the playability, increases what you can do with him as far as posing. So yeah, I appreciate it when it's there, but it's not a necessity for me. It doesn't make or break the figure for me. But the thing with toe joints is, and granted this figure needs a toe joint for transformation, but the thing with toe joints is that if you're gonna have it on a figure, it needs to be kind of snug. It needs to be robust. Because if it's not, then guess what? It doesn't take much for him to just fall forward, as you saw right there. I just gave him a little nudge, and those toes just gave way. Now, granted, you can fix this with floor polish, nail polish, whatever your joint tightening method of choice is, but, you know, that toe joint is going to dictate how stable the figure is when you're posing him. So there you have that, and now for comparison. Here he is with 86 megs. As you can see how that works out. And a figure that I think goes really well with this. This is the Make Toys Optimus Prime. This came out a long time ago, but still a solid figure in my opinion. Still a great figure. I think those two look good together personally. I think that works. Just me. And if you'd like a measurement to the top of his head, Megs comes in at 8 inches tall. So there you go. So that is basically it for the robot mode. So let's get down to transformation, shall we? Let's. So first we need to remove the arm cannon, and this connects a specific way here. So we need to pop off his hand. And there's a little hook that goes into the back of his forearm here. So you have to bring that up. And this is quite snug in there. There we go. Just bring that up. Unhook that, and then just unpeg it from this post. Just kind of give it a little wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And just remove that. Come on. Come on! There we go. We can just pop his hand back on, and now we can continue. So first we're going to do some butt work. So what you want to do is you want to just take the butt plates and bring this up, and you want to take his hips here, this hip assembly, and just shift it down on that double hinge. This one's a little bit tighter. This one's a lot tighter. But just get it shifted down to where they are meeting in the middle, and they tab together like that, and then you can take this and bring that down, and that will just lock those in place. These side panels here, you just want to take and bring down. So now we'll start working on the legs. So you want to take these side sections here, they just tab into either side of the knee, just untab it, bring it forward, and then bring this panel down. There'll be a tab slot connection right there, so just take that and tab that in. So again, untab that, swing that around, and tab that in. Once that's done, you want to take this panel here, just untab it, just get that up and out of the way. You want to take the heel and flip this in. The toe, you want to take and shift up like that. Then you want to take the foot and just swing this out to the side, and then rotate the foot down. Once that's done, you just want to take the section of the tread, bring that down, take this section of the tread, and just bring that down. And then we can take all this and swing this out to the side. At this point, you do want to bend the knee, so you can take this whole assembly here and rotate it 180. And then when you straighten the knee back out, you'll have a tab slot connection that happens right in there. Just tab that into place. Then make sure this is out of the way. You take this bit and just rotate that down, bring this panel, and that'll just tab in right there. And you got that side all done, and second verse is just like the first. And once both sides are done, you just take the two halves and just tab it all together. And we got that done for now. So now we're going to work on the arms. So you can just bring the arm out on these hinges here, because you have some freedom of movement here. So we're going to take this panel on the side here, bring this out. We're going to take this panel here, bring that up, take this panel here, and bring that up. You want to untab this section here. This goes into a little notch. Just free that up. And you can take this assembly here and just bring it up and over. Before we bring that all the way over, take this bit, bring this out, and just rotate it up like that. And then you can take this section of tread and just drop it down like so, and it'll just sit in this little notch right here. Just a matter of getting everything lined up and sitting right. There we go. So it drops in like that. You have this little bit here that you just want to rotate out. So now we want to flatten out the hands, so we're just bending the fingers in at the mid knuckle joint here, and have the thumb at the side, so you just want to flatten those hands out like that. And we're going to come here, we're going to untab this section, bring that down. That will allow us to take all this and bring it up. You want to take the hand and rotate it so the palm is facing down, and then bring that hand up and over. Once that's done, this section right here will just untab and swing around. This bit here is on a double hinge. Just take it and bring it up and over. So all that is lined up like that. And then you're going to take this little panel here and just push that down. You're going to take this whole lower arm assembly here, and all this will shift forward on that double hinge. So it's sitting right there like that. And then you're going to take this whole assembly, it's on a double hinge, just bring this up and then rotate it in. Just bring it in the rest of the way. There'll be a little tab notch connection that happens right there. Just get that in place and get that tabbed in. Then you're going to take this section, rotate it 180, and drop it down, and it'll just drop onto a little notch right here. So get all that lined up and get it all sitting like that. And again, second verse, just like the first. And now that we have both sides done, it's now time to start working on this section here. So you do want to kind of wiggle his chest loose here. The tab's in at multiple points there. So now you just want to take all this and just rock it forward like that. And we can start working on all of this. So we can bring this out, flip out this post here. And by the way, something I totally forgot to show off is that you can take the cannon in robot mode and you can just plug it onto his chest. Because, you know, hey, Warpath repaint when? Who knows? But, you know, yeah, that's the thing you can do if you want to do it. Give him the chest cannon. But anyway, flip that out and then rotate these sections up. And then take this bit and bring that up like that. And now you want to take these side sections here and just rotate them down. Make sure this is out of the way. Rotate that down. Rotate that down. Take this and just bring it out. And just rotate that. Open up this panel. Take the head and just flip it all the way in. Close that up. And then just take all this and just bring it up. So it's sitting flush. You take this hatch here and just rotate that in. So now we can just take this entire assembly. Just rock this all the way down like that, and now we can start getting all of this together. So what's going to happen here is you want to bring this hinge all the way in like that, and just bring this in. And you need to make sure that everything is just kind of sitting where it needs to sit. You have to make sure that this is sitting right up against the center bit here. And sometimes that can be a little tricky to do because there's something you have to kind of lift it up and over to get it. There we go, to get it just butted right up against that center bit there. And you have a tab that's going to clip into a little notch right in there. So just kind of get all that lined up and just drop it down and everything should just sit there. If you have to readjust some stuff, just readjust it and just get everything sitting flat like that. Get the other side situated as well. And there we go. So once we have the other side in place, now you can just peg the two halves right there, and then you have this panel that's just going to kind of lock over this one here. I always end up with a little bit of a gap here. I can never get this like totally closed up, but it's as closed up as I can get it. But there you got that ready to go. And the turret here, we can just drop down. There's a little tab slot connection that happens in there. You basically just kind of have to feel it out. You'll just feel it drop down. And then just rotate the turret so this post is facing forward. So now time to get these sections in place. So you want to bring this in. And what's going to happen here, you can see this section of the tread has a notch right here, and that is for this tab right here. So once you get the foot in place, get everything in place, just kind of take a section of tread. Again, you have a lot of joints here to work with, so just use them at your disposal. And just get that lined up and pushed in so that is sitting like that. And then you bring this up and you have a tab that will go into a slot right up in here and get that lined up and just push that down. There's also a little tab notch connection right in here for these bits. Not crucial, but you can get those tabbed in if you want. And then bring this section of tab, get this section of track onto this tab. That's what I wanted to say until my brain stopped functioning, apparently. But there we go. So you got it looking like that. Then you're going to take this bit here, and you're going to bring it up, rotate it 180, and just bring it the rest of the way up. Tab slot connection right there. Just line that up, and tab that in, and we got that side all done. And second verse, again, just like the first. And last thing to do is just bring in this cannon here. That will just peg onto the front. So there you go. There you have Titan, aka Megatron, in his alt mode. Good spin. There he is. Now, while their choice of tank mode may not have been the best, still it all comes together pretty nicely in the end. But let's take a look at the details here. We got a lot of detail going on here. Love the way the treads look. I love how the treads actually do kind of sag here in the middle, which is what they're supposed to do. So I like how that looks, and all this done in a nice gunmetal gray. Again, we got some nice painted details up top. You even have a little hatch here that you can't open. It doesn't reveal anything but a screw. But hey, still cool nonetheless. You can see lots of nice molded detail here, even a little picked out in red. And we do have these crosses. That's what they are. They're crosses. It's a medical tank. Yeah, it's for medicinal purposes. Yeah, that's what it is. Then we got some details going on back here. We got the SO4, and there is the top, there is the bottom. There are no wheels, so it doesn't roll, but it does slide, as sliding tanks should. Hooray for sliding tanks. Then, for comparison, here he is with 86 megs in tank mode, and they're pretty much the same size in tank mode. And definitely a testament to the mass shifting here, how it all just kind of compacts up really well. So there you have that. And if you'd like a measurements from end to end, the tank mode comes in at 7 inches long. So there you go. Now, as far as this big old cannon goes, it can store on the alt mode. So what you need to do is just remove this barrel here. You want to flip this panel down, and this post is going to plug into this top port here. So just get that lined up, push that on. You do need to take this hatch and just kind of rotate it out of the way so that can just sit right there. And then you just take the cannon, plug that back on, and there you go. You got that going on. You got a cannon on top of a cannon. Sure, why not? Dare I say why not? Now, as far as articulation goes in this mode, the turret can rotate, can do a full 360. It kind of catches on some stuff as you're going, but you can get that full 360 going, as everything goes wrong. But it can turn, is my point, it can turn. It can pivot up and down. This big old cannon can also pivot up and down as well. Got some hinges there you can also use. And of course we have the effects parts, which we can plug on as well. We can plug this in. And as far as the tiny little effect part goes, it goes onto this little gun right here. You just plug that on. There you go. Get some mini blushing going. Just a little. So there you go. So there you have a Titan, and yeah, nicely done figure here by Toyeasy. The robot mode looks good for the most part. I just have a problem with these shins. The shins are just a little too thin. Again, I wish there was a way I wish they had come up with a way to bulk those out, but you know, not the end of the world, but it's a little bit of kind of kills the silhouette a little bit for me. Like he skipped leg day, but you know, it is what it is. But for the most part, the robot mode looks really good. The tank mode looks really good. Some good engineering here. The transformation is quite well done. It has a little bit of fiddle factor. Not a lot, just a little bit of fiddle factor. Just in those final steps of getting the tank mode together, you can, a little bit of fiddling to do, but nothing to a frustrating degree. All in all, it's a pretty smooth process. Also, those toe joints are a little too loose. Again, that can be tightened, but, again, I talked about that earlier in the review. It does kind of mess with his stability when you're trying to pose him, but again, that can be fixed. So not perfect. There are some things that could be improved upon, but all in all, though, I'm pretty happy with him. A solid effort here with this figure, so there you go. Now, I picked this up from TF Safari. I'll put a link to their site in the description down below so you can check that out. You can also check out the third-party Transformers playlist for any reviews you may have missed. Also linked in the description down below so you can check that out as well. And I think that's it, so don't forget to check out EmGo's, check out Love, Peace, Paranormal, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below, and I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So there is the Toyeasy Titan, and this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing. Be a geek, be proud, palm in your face. I'm Megatron. Oh, you look different. I shaved. Oh, good look. Anyway, our forces are in position and we are ready to attack. Great. Listen, before we do all that, can you go on a burrito run for me? What burritos? This isn't a time for burritos. Also, what do I look like, your Uber Eats driver? You are my underling, and if I say get me some burritos, you will get me some burritos, or so help me Primus, I will rip you in half. You're ugly when you're hungry. And you'll be even uglier when you rip me in half, I know.